Hey, it's Eric Lima here, as you can obviously see, because you're watching another episode of EML77 TV. Welcome to episode 387. Lots of things to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I want to apologize to my friend Jordan Liddell for declining his invitation to go on his YouTube live stream to talk about Crown Jewel. And I figured, I was a little bit tired. Was it last night? Yesterday, I worked so hard to the point where I emptied 6 bags. I used 6 bags to rake up leaves to clean out the sidewalks, clean out that. There's a fire escape in between Buffalo Wild Wings and Macy's that has to be cleaned up, and with all those leaves there, so kind of would hold everybody down. So I figured I might as well do it, So I had plenty of time to do it, and I did it. So there you go. So and I was totally exhausted by the end of the day and do a little shopping afterwards as well. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. So I decided, well, my brain needs a break. So I'm like, because a lot of crazy stuff has been happening. So so there was some huge news that came out of Crown Jewel. As everybody was about to depart Saudi Arabia, there was an issue with the plane, mechanical issue, and unfortunately, they couldn't get back in time for SmackDown. So, what to do, right? And a lot of people have been upset that Vince left early than everybody else and everything else, and it's just crazy, I can't, there's a lot of things that internet wrestling nerds said on Twitter about this situation. And some comments are very disrespectful, and all I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this once. All you internet wrestling nerds should be thanking the WWE. Alright? If it had not been for the WWE, all these organizations you've been watching nowadays wouldn't have existed. That's my personal opinion. Alright? Instead of hating on the WWE, you should be thanking them. That's my personal opinion. Alright? Now, as far as this situation is concerned, some wrestling fans are very happy that they stuck there. I mean, what kind of a world are we living in if you're happy that these superstars and the talent and the workers in the WWE have families of their own? It's like you don't care about them, and that's totally disrespectful if you're happy about them getting stuck in Saudi Arabia. That's totally disrespectful in my personal opinion. And I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, being stuck somewhere in a country that is so and I am not, and I'm not very, very happy about the way these fans responded to the situation. I mean, they jumped to conclusions. And listen, you hate the WWE, that's fine, but you should be thanking the WWE instead for having for existing, because if it hadn't been for the WWE, these other organizations wouldn't exist. Have TV deals all over the place, and showed us what professional wrestling is all about in sports entertainment. So you guys should, and shame on those fans. Shame on those fans who said that they're very happy about the superstars being stranded and stuck in Saudi Arabia. And and everybody hates on Vince McMahon, and I can understand. Listen, Vince McMahon wants to make money, and I can understand. And Brock Lesnar. I don't like Brock Lesnar. And he cares about nobody but himself. So this is going to be. I know this is going to be a huge situation, and a lot of people are saying, So this could change things as the WWE continue its deal. Putting events in Saudi Arabia. So this is going to be something, and I think the superstars should be. I'm sure they're going to have another plan next time if something like this should happen again. So it's going to be. I'm glad the superstars, they all came home. They're safe. They're sound. Praise God. But they're going to have a lot to deal with when they start come back to work, because we're going to tie into this, ladies and gentlemen, because of that situation in Saudi Arabia. Friday Night SmackDown last night, November the 1st, 2019, will be a date that will not only be remembered in SmackDown or NXT history, but in WWE history. some of the superstars from NXT has invaded Friday Night SmackDown. Well, they kicked off the show with Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman saying Brock Lesnar's quitting SmackDown, going over to Raw. Hence the answer to Bray Wyatt now being the Universal Champion. The Universal title will be on SmackDown, while Brock Lesnar will be on Raw. So I don't know how the executives of Fox would feel about that, but you know what? It's Brock Lesnar. Fox executives, leave him alone. Because if any one of your employees tries to stop Lesnar, Lesnar will give him an F5, and it will be a face worse than it came for poor Van Cain Velasquez. So if I were Fox executives, hold on to your arms, because he might break them if you don't. NXT has officially invaded SmackDown Live. How did it all start? Well, they had the first match, Bayley. Now, it was supposed to be a 6-woman tag team matchup with Nikki Cross teaming up with Dana Brooke and Carmella versus Bayley and Fire and Desire. Well, that match was scrapped due to the SmackDown situation. I mean, due to the situation in Crown Jewel. So they decided, well, we'll put Dana Brooke and Carmella in a tag match against Fire and Desire, while Bayley defends the women's SmackDown Women's Championship against Nikki Cross. Match went back and forth. Nikki Cross was about to finish off Bayley, but Sasha Banks pushes her off while the referee was not looking. Bayley hits her move. 1, 2, 3. Bayley retains her title. So as Sasha Banks was celebrating at ringside, the first NXT superstar jumped over the railing and attacked Sasha Banks. Who was it? NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler. 1/4 of the 4 horsewomen of MMA. And believe me, after she rammed Sasha Banks to the ring post, she booted Nikki Cross out of the ring, gave Bayley a beatdown. So the war has started. The war has started. Now it's Raw and SmackDown versus NXT. This could mean something big. I was like, oh boy. The commentary team, since Corey Graves and Michael Cole weren't there, Tom Phillips, Renee Young, and Aiden English started things off, which I applaud those three, for taking over and doing the thing. And so the night's just begun, right? It gets even better, all right? I was like, oh boy, this ought to be fun. So Kathy Kelly, who was another backstage interviewer that was there, Kayla Braxton did the ring announcing. Kathy Kelly was interviewing Sami Zayn, and Sami's running his mouth. So I'm like, okay. Hey, Sami's talking about, if NXT wants to come, they better realize who they're messing with. All of a sudden, turns around, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. I'm like, I was like, this gets even better, right? Gets even better. And then all of a sudden, Sami Zayn's walking away. Okay, I'm going to go to my car. I'm going to, get you. I'll go and get my money and everything else. And all of a sudden, Sami Zayn takes off into the ring, and both Matt Riddle and Keith Lee did a number on Sami Zayn. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, this gets even better. Who's next from NXT that's going to show up, right? Now, Miz-TV. Let's get into Miz-TV. He was supposed to interview Bray Wyatt, the new Universal Champion, but obviously, he wasn't there. So he talks about the elephant in the room, which is NXT. So I figure, is he, everybody's hoping for a Velveteen Dream Miz interaction. I would love to see it. I think Velveteen Dream suffered an injury, if I'm not mistaken. But he'll be back. Then all of a sudden, Tommaso Ciampa appears. I'm like, this is good. This is good. I like where this is going, right? Tommaso Ciampa's always a bragger, just like Miz was. And so Miz decided, me, right now. Tommaso Ciampa beat The Miz. I was like, okay, that's match 1. This is great, right? So NXT's got 1-0 on SmackDown. Survivor Series started early, folks. Trust me on this one. It gets even better. So Fire and Desire are out, getting ready to have their match, and all that. They were supposed to face Carmella and Dana Brooke. Carmella's music played. She no show, and I'm like, uh-oh. If she's here, but, what's going on? We go to the back. Bianca Belair, the EST of NXT. jumped both Dana Brooke and Carmella. Both of them. One woman attacking both. I'm like, oh boy. Carmella gets military pressed over some crates thrown over there. Holy crap. It was so funny. I was like, what? This is crazy. This is insane. Glad Carmella's okay, though. And I was concerned for the welfare of Pancake, her cute little dog. Because I'll tell you what, man, she had a little, Pancake had a little run-in with Sasha Banks' dog, Ryu. So, or was it Ryu? So it was, I figured, this is even crazier. Who else is going to show up next, right? So Sonya, Deville, and Mandy Rose are in the ring, dumbfounded, like, what? We're supposed to face them. What's going on? All of a sudden, here, this is my brutality. Here comes Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox. I'm like, this gets even better and better. And then Rhea Ripley grabs the microphone. You don't have any challenges? Well, now you do. I'm like, ah! I'm like, this is getting even more insane. This is getting even more insane. Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox, they were battling each other to the point where Tegan Nox throws Sonya Deville. Her boot hits Renee Young in the face. Oh, yeah. By this time, Pat McAfee joins the commentary team. Pat freaking McAfee. Come on now. This, for the brand, dude. For the brand. I mean, this is even, gets even crazier. It gets even nuttier than it already has. I mean, ha! Tegan Nox and Rhea Ripley won. It's NXT 2, SmackDown nothing. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And, well, actually, I forgot to tell you, there's a little segment that I forgot to mention. As Brock Lesnar was leaving, as he was quitting SmackDown, all right, Brock Lesnar decided to quit SmackDown to go after Rey Mysterio. Guess who showed up? Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This ought to be a sign of things to come, because they've been building NXT. I'm like, the Clique has been known to take over things, haven't they? And you see a pattern here is happening? I mean, this is great. And then, loving this. Then, little dude was my car. And then, so Daniel Bryan's walking around the back, and as you know, for morality reasons, he didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. So as Daniel Bryan goes to the back, right, he's kind of stewing in his mind a little bit, confronts Triple H. Daniel Bryan does not like what's going on. So he says, I want to take you on one-on-one, because I don't have my gear, I don't like fighting in the suit. Shawn Michaels teases by taking off his jacket. I thought, hey, teacher versus student, that'll be a heck of a matchup. He goes, oh, it's cold in here, I know. And then he goes, you want to fight somebody? Hey, champ. He says, champ. I was like, all the champs. In comes Adam Cole, baby. I'm like, this is a match I would like to see. Let's get it on. And then Daniel Bryan decides to raise the stakes, a gambling man. I want that title. Triple H likes it. He says, okay, let's make the match. I don't believe this. I cannot believe this. I just could not believe it. So the match happens. All right. And Roderick Strong came out with him, but then he says, tells Adam Cole, you got this. So Roderick Strong's making this, we guys saw more SmackDown debuts from NXT Superstars than anybody else. This is great. Probably the most, the WWE's been known to turn lemons into lemonade, and that's what they made, some lemonade, all right. Nice drinking, sweet nectar of lemonade, ladies and gentlemen. With NXT is the ultimate lemonade, and all of a sudden, Adam Cole, back and forth matchup. Adam Cole defeats Daniel Bryan to retain his title. Triple H says, you want a war, you got one. All the NXT contingent, including some of the 205 Live guys. Leo Rush was there. Raul Mendoza was there. Dakota Kai was there. Everybody was in the ring, and it was just insane. It was just insane. Seriously. You want a war, you got a war. So, Raw and SmackDown, your move. That's all I'm going to say. So, how do I rate last night's SmackDown? 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. 2 thumbs up. 5 stars. It was great. What's going to happen this Monday night on Raw? Imagine if this lady shows up during a Kabuki Warriors match and acting like she's aiding the Kabuki Warriors, and all of a sudden she backstabs them. Would that be something? Whoa. You know what this means? That means if Shayna Baszler both jump Bayley and Sasha Banks, I would not be surprised if I were Becky and Charlotte to grow eyes in the back of their head. I wouldn't be surprised if Shayna Baszler shows up on Raw and jumps both Charlotte and Becky Lynch. There's a war right there in itself, ladies and gentlemen. And cue Ronda Rousey's return to Survivor Series, and imagine we can get the dream matchup we always wanted. The 4 horsewomen of the WWE versus the 4 horsewomen of MMA. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bayley versus Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and Jessamine Duke. Imagine if that match happens. It will, and in words of Sai from Duck Dynasty, it'll be on like Donkey Kong, ladies and gentlemen. This war is on like Donkey freaking Kong. Yes, sir. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. And I wonder how the superstars from Raw and SmackDown, after returning from Saudi Arabia, hearing all this, what went down, I can imagine them going, oh, so while we cats are away, the mice will play, huh? Well, guess what? Two can play at that game. Imagine, if you will. Imagine if the 4 horsewomen of the WWE decide, we gotta band together, send a message to NXT. It's like, this is bigger than when the Nexus tried to pull this off. But this is bigger. This is bigger than big, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Nexus, to me, has nothing on NXT. Even though they were part of NXT, but this is nothing. You talk about takeovers, NXT TakeOver SmackDown edition last night on Fox. I'm sure the executive Fox going, this is interesting. We like this kind of war. Let's make some more money off this. Let's keep this thing going, shall we? What's going on? This is great. I love it. You know, time for her to show up. Io Shirai knocking out Kairi Sane or Asuka with a kick and do a moonsault. Imagine like Io Shirai, Candice LeRae going, after this war, we're going to Survivor Series, and we'll band together and beat some people up. That's what I want to see, you know. And Rhea Ripley and Tegan Nox teaming up. That's awesome. You know, I'm thinking they were opponents in the Mae Young Classic, and Tegan Nox was injured during that matchup. So to see them come together right now, murder over me. And I'll tell you one thing right now, it's going to be awesome. Let me tell you. Survivor Series, it will be Raw versus SmackDown versus Raw and SmackDown versus NXT. You know, it's gonna be awesome, as Miz would say. This is insane. This is totally insane. I'm gonna check out some other things to see if I missed anything. I gotta tell you, I have to admit, this is even crazy. And I just cannot believe this happened. Holy mackerel. Ooh. Yep. I think I covered just about everything on SmackDown Live. Oh boy, that was just, you know, I just cannot believe that even happened. It was just insane. It was just insane. Let me tell you, SmackDown Live, like I said, I tweeted this. November the 1st, 2019 will be a date that will be remembered in WWE history. The war is on. Raw and SmackDown, it's time for your move. You better be thinking long and hard about this, because brand supremacy just gotten bigger. The stakes have just gotten higher. NXT stepping up to the plate. You got the future of the WWE in NXT. And believe me, NXT is no longer a developmental territory and no developmental organization. It's now a brand of its own. And I cannot wait to see how the superstars respond to all this. Coming back from Saudi Arabia and going, so, imagine this is like the mind games, like a little storyline. Triple H made it so that, that they don't get off the ground. That's how you start a war in Survivor Series. Even though it's a real life situation, but imagine, they'll probably say, you may have done this, you may have caused this, Triple H, and you will pay for it. Imagine the war I love it. Let's get more of NXT invasions and debuts. This lady should debut on Raw. My personal opinion. To go out to either Asuka or Kairi Sane or both ladies. She's got that capability of taking both ladies out. Even though they're fellow countrywomen. Well, you never know what's going to happen. Here's Rai. Genius of the sky. That's all I'm going to say about that. So that's all the time we have on the show. God's blessings, love, life, love, and light to all of you. Catch you on the flip side. Pay attention. You might learn something. Cannot change the past, but we can change our current situations to work for a better future. And if life deals you a bad hand, change your cards. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. NXT TakeOver SmackDown edition is complete. Guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you in episode 388.